For the first time in a generation, Liverpool FC are about to become champions of England. Their first Premier League title is now within touching distance to within perhaps the last minute of the 30-year wait. I'm Guy Clarke. Welcome along to Blood Red Live here on the Blood Red channel. Alongside me, Theo, Squires, and also Matt Addison. Gentlemen, we came on at half-time and we were talking about the event that could be about to unfold before our eyes. And Theo, I know your TV's slightly ahead of both mine and Matt, and well, you must pretty much nearly be at the moment.
Yeah, my heart's racing here in the final 15 seconds. I feel a bit like Sky Sports Soccer Saturday or whatever here. Chelsea on the ball, just time wasting. It's what we like to see, isn't it, for this final 10 seconds? Tammy Abraham battering Kyle Walker in the corner. 5-4. How long is he going to let us go over? This could be it. Just need one big kick. We've gone over 96 here. Go on, that's it. It's aimless kick up to Caper. That's got to be it. Just keeping it. Dragging this out. Keeper's time wasting. Rolls it up. Chelsea just keeping possession. It's done. It's going to be done.
Well, it is.
It's done. Liverpool are champions. Come on, let's have the big cheer.
The full-time whistle going at Stamford Bridge then. Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1. Matt, I mean, it's one of those we've known it's been done for months. The Kop obviously singing against Manchester United, that 2-0 win back at the turn of the year. That was probably the moment when everyone really began to believe. But now it is reality. Liverpool, for the first time in 30 years, champions of England.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about it at half-time. There's been a number of different moments this season. And, you know, going into tonight's game, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to pan out. But this certainly, you know, this feels like a moment as well. I mean, you know, we've seen people at Anfield. I'm sure people watching on at home will, you know, be celebrating. And, you know, as much as anything, it's just a huge relief, really. It's been confirmed, as you say, for a long time. But, I mean, this is it officially. Liverpool are champions. And after 30 years, I mean, it's something that Liverpool fans, you know, a number of people have grown up wanting this to happen. You know, this has been the moment that, you know, fans have been waiting so long for. For some people, you know, their entire lives has been sort of building up to this moment. And yeah, this is it. Liverpool are champions and they're going to do it in absolute style. They absolutely 100% deserve it. It's not, you know, Chelsea haven't won them the league. Liverpool have won them the league. Liverpool have been utterly brilliant this season. And, you know, yesterday was a fitting reminder of that, I think.
Yeah, still 7 games for Liverpool left to play, of course, Theo. That's 21 points to play for, and yet they've still been able to do it with all of those to spare. In dates, it's the latest. The league's been confirmed the 25th of June, 2020, a date no one will be forgetting in a hurry, yet with 7 games to go, the earliest it's ever been secured in Premier League history, and this side could well now go on and become the greatest ever Premier League side.
You'd like to think so. You'd like to hope so. Jurgen Klopp said last year when there were critics that he hadn't signed any major players that this team deserved another year. There were still doubts then, and they just silenced it in the most emphatic way possible. To win the league so comfortably, it's not been seen before, and it's just a truly special team. And then when you go through the Liverpool squad, the front three, they're all at the peak. The midfield, you've got a couple of players now, the wrong side 30, but they've got young players coming through the talent there. And this back four and the goalkeeper, they could easily be the best in the country for another 5 years. And that's what you need to be a good champion, that base defensively. And when you've got Jurgen Klopp signed up for another 4 years, there's no reason why they can't dominate for years to come. It's just a truly special team to watch. We've witnessed history this year. As I said at half-time, Manchester City haven't lost the league despite all those defeats. Liverpool have been that good that it doesn't matter how good you are, the team you're against. You weren't going to stop them. Liverpool fans, they had to applaud Manchester City last year because as good as they were, Manchester City deserved the league. Now it's on the other foot and the party can really begin.
Yeah, the party really can begin. And continuing on Theo's point there, Matt, over the course of the last, what is now 2 seasons, I think 79 league games played, 183 points. That's maths off the top of my head, so forgive me if that's wrong. But yeah, it's been some journey. Of course, last year, the European Cup, in that 30-year waiting for a league title, Liverpool, of course, securing 2 European Cups. But this is the one that everyone has spoken about for so many years.
Yeah, this is the one that, every Liverpool manager in that time period, this has been their ultimate goal. Obviously, for lots of clubs, the Champions League is the absolute pinnacle, and Liverpool have been fortunate enough to be in a position, as you say, to be in a number of finals and to bring home that trophy. But to bring home the league title, I think it means more to Liverpool than any other club, just because of the situation. And I don't know whether you can hear out of the window here in Liverpool city centre. There's been cars beeping horns, there's fireworks going off, and I just think it's such a magical moment, even though, the way it's happened, Liverpool aren't playing tonight, but, it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, there was some slight concern from myself that it wouldn't quite feel the same, and it wouldn't quite be, the sort of moment really that this fantastic team deserves. As you say, so many points. I mean, I'm not even going to try and attempt the maths, but I'm sure you were correct before. To have gone so close, they've got 97 points last season, and then to just go again and I mean, they're probably going to surpass that points total this season, which is just utterly ridiculous, because, last season's 97 points, that was the thirdest points total of all time. It was, a huge effort to get to that point. And in this 30 years, we've seen so many times when Liverpool have come close, they've been within points of it happening, and it just hasn't quite happened, and then they've dropped off. But this time it was different. This time under Jurgen Klopp, those mentality giants, mentality monsters, whatever you want to call them, they've just, picked it up again, continued that form. And, we always knew it would be difficult for Liverpool to, surpass what Pep Guardiola was doing with Manchester City. But for me, this Liverpool team now, they're going to go on. They're going to beat the points total. They've already, as you say, won the title now with 7 games remaining. The previous record, I think, was 5 games, which Manchester United managed. So, whatever way you look at it, whatever metric you look at it, the only asterisk that needs to go next to Liverpool's name is, Liverpool, not just Premier League champions, but the best Premier League champions that there's ever been.
Yeah, such a dominating display from Liverpool throughout the course of the season, Theo. As Matt's alluded to, picking themselves up after that disappointment last year of getting so many points and not getting the prize at the end of it. They've gone and they've run it from the beginning, from the very first whistle this season against Norwich City on the Friday night, kicking the season off. It has been all about Liverpool this season. And I suppose, albeit we've had a 3-month break, Liverpool coming back from that, the draw with Everton. But last night, that 4-0 win over Crystal Palace, putting sort of the seal on, just showing how good this Liverpool side are, and that even with that delay, they weren't going to be stopped.
Yeah, there was always that anxiousness about coming back after a 3-month break, whether things would alter with the momentum. Liverpool obviously weren't in the best of form before the break, losing to Atletico in the Champions League, a few dodgy performances, dodgy results. And whilst I don't think anyone expected Manchester City to really be able to claw back the entire point deficit, it was still a feeling that Liverpool might drag it on longer than they should have done. When you draw 0-0 with Everton, and they didn't really have a shot, if we're honest, a proper shot on goal. There's what is the real Liverpool here? Are they going to falter over the line? But no, they showed last night just how good they are. And they deserve champions, as you've been mentioning, like the earliest and the latest champions at the same time. It seems this team from Jurgen Klopp, they've had so many tags, haven't they? They've been the unbearables, the inevitables, the invincibles, nearly. Just all these different tags. The only one you can give them is they're the immortals. What have they achieved this season will go down in the record books forever. They might not be unbeaten, but no one will come close to dominating a league season in such a way again. And it seems remarkable we're saying this when there's still 7 games to go. Like, Liverpool have only drawn 2 games, lost 1, and there's still so much football left to be played. And it's not as though now it's foot off the gas, pressed up, look back and achieve what we have done and just celebrate that. Addison will go. Mohamed Salah will Golden Boot, and then it's a chance to get the youngsters on a bit as well. So you can get Harvey Elliott a few minutes, get Curtis Jones, Nico Williams, as we saw last night, or then Takumi Minamino. He can go and settle in. It's a real nice narrative there for all those players to go and finish the season in style, because they're not going to rest on the laurels. And of course, as Matt's already mentioned, they've got that big points total. They want to topple Manchester City as well to officially be the greatest Premier League champions.
Yeah, of course, only 14 points away from that. Kristian Walsh has also joined us live on Blood Red on the YouTube channel this evening. Kristian Walsh, the night that Liverpool become champions of England. How does that sound?
It's unreal. It's real, mate. I can't believe we'll never forget this, will we? The middle of one of the hottest days I can ever remember in my life. We're all penned up in our in our flats, and we've just watched Willian stroke home that penalty. I know you don't normally get much sense out of me anyway at the best of times on this show, but I'm not going to be much good tonight. It's just an unbelievable feeling. I can't really put into words. It is the most surreal thing in the world. You've seen the scenes from Anfield, and okay, maybe there should be social distancing and all the disclaimers around that, but it looks brilliant. And I'm going to meet my friends tomorrow. We're all going to have a socially distanced drink. I hope everybody gets out as soon as they can, as safely as they can. And the reason I'm late on this call is because I had a couple of people to call, people I've known for so many years. People that we've sort of shared so many highs but also lows around Liverpool. And it is the strangest feeling in the world to be sort of sitting in your living room while this all unfolds. But that's something to galvanise the club. I think it almost feels like when it does come, when we can all be together and we can all have a proper celebration, where we could all have a parade, it feels like that's something that Klopp's going to use to spur these on. We saw exactly last night what it was all about, and they're not going to sort of relent. And from what we just see, Chelsea and Man City had a cracking game, but neither of them are at the level of Liverpool right now. So this is surreal. It's incredible, but hopefully it's not the last one as well.
No, certainly not. And Theo, football throws up unbelievable storylines. It so often does. 2014, of course, Liverpool going so close to the title, and really it was Chelsea that put pay to that defeat at Anfield, with Stephen, of course, slipping, Willian scoring on that occasion. Fast forward 6 years, and it's he, the man, who has effectively secured the title for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not just Willian, it's Pulisic as well. You think these are players that Liverpool have tried to sign. Fans have been quite upset, annoyed at the time that they haven't been able to sign them. More so with Willian, it was a case of how Liverpool had fallen, the fact that they couldn't compete with a Chelsea to get his signature. And we've seen him in the years go on and have such a successful career with Chelsea. Chelsea being the team that stopped Liverpool winning the league title, and now they've had their hand in giving them the title. It's just remarkable to see how you got all these little stories that do come along. Like we said last night as well, Crystal Palace, thinking back to 2014, it was the draw with Crystal Palace that cost Liverpool as well. And then it's this game that's deciding it. Well, if it hadn't been decided tonight, we'd have had a title decided between Liverpool and Manchester City. It's all just fit. It's all right, isn't it, with all these stories, to make it as special as it can be, and just to give it all these fancy quirks. But you can point them out and get all these different stories out of it. The only thing that really matters is Liverpool Premier League champions. We've been waiting 30 years for it. And the moment is now. And it's just hard to put into words, isn't it? You can see we're all going to be in bits here just thinking, wow, it's actually happened. You've waited so long for it to happen. It's like, what do we do now? It's just remarkable to see.
Yeah, and Kristian mentioned it before, Matt, but number 19 now for Liverpool in terms of league titles. But under Jurgen Klopp, it's number 1, and you get the feeling there's going to be no let-up. Dare I say, we already begin to look to next season, but you do feel that the Champions League last year was the real beginning point, and now this hopefully will be the start of a domestic domination like there was in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I think it's important that we, as Liverpool fans, relish this moment and don't look ahead too quickly to next season and the next thing. But, once the celebrations are underway, as they already are, once the title celebrations and that sort of thing are out of the way, I mean, yeah, as you say, Liverpool are perfectly placed now to make this not just a one-off thing that doesn't happen again. You'd put them down as favourites for the title next season. You think, under Jurgen Klopp, they can go on and they can do more and more and more. And I suppose the thing that proves that is that they won the Champions League last year. And as I said before, that hunger, the determination, the drive to just get even better, that was pretty clear from, right from the beginning of this season. It felt, as soon as they beat Manchester City at Anfield, that felt like a huge moment. And then, there's been so many huge moments from that point to this. So, yeah, I'm sure under Jurgen Klopp, he's going to be here for the next 3 or 4 seasons. Who knows what this Liverpool team can achieve, because what they've proven this year is that they are comfortably the best team in the world. They're now obviously confirmed as Premier League champions, but they're European champions, they're world champions, and you really can't put it into words quite how well deserved that is, because you look in every single position, there's players there which they are the best in the world at what they do. Every single player fits the system. Jurgen Klopp has got them absolutely purring for the entire season. And as Theo said before, like, they're all going into their peak years, that there's no reason that they can't go on and do something similar over the next couple of years. So yeah, it's been a hugely exciting time to cover Liverpool and to support Liverpool for the last couple of seasons. And let's be honest, it's probably not going to be too much difference over the next couple of seasons too. So it's something certainly to look forward to. But yeah, let's get this one out of the way first and then start thinking about the future.
Just to add on to what Matt said there, it's been such a privilege and honour to watch this Liverpool grow in the past 5 years, because you think early on at Jurgen Klopp that first season, getting to a couple of finals, suffering defeats there, missing out on Champions League altogether, come back, qualify the Champions League, reach the Champions League final. That was their motivation to then go on and win the Champions League, missing out on the league. That's then given them the motivation to go and win the league this year. And it's like not having the celebrations this year, the fans, not being able to celebrate it properly. That's the motivation to go and win it again and do it properly, so to speak. They might not do it as emphatically or be as dominant if they do go and win it again next year. But that is what you say to your team, isn't it? That is the team talk Jurgen Klopp's going to be able to give to them. So you've won it now. You've proven you're the best. Go and do it again now, and let's have a really party to celebrate with all these players. I've written a comment piece that we'll probably see in the next day or two, that this Liverpool team's truly remarkable. But now the next challenge is to make the remarkable the ordinary.
Yeah, definitely. It seems that way. Kristian, there always seems to be somewhat of a jealousy from other fan bases and rival clubs towards Liverpool, whether it be the success that Liverpool have had domestically, of course, having 18 league titles before anyone else, or the success that Liverpool have in Europe. Not winning a Premier League title has been something that's been rubbed in Liverpool fans' faces for, 28 years into the Premier League now. That now, one night, all finishes.
It all finishes. It validates, the lows that Liverpool have had. Rival and opposition fans have always laughed at Liverpool about that one fact, and Liverpool have been one of the most blessed and fortunate supporter bases in the world. They've seen things that a lot of other fan bases don't see. Speaking, I've been to over 30 European away trips, sort of the most sort of glamorous places in Europe, and also some of the weirdest places. Special shout out to Maribor in Slovenia. Liverpool have won League Cups, FA Cups, 2 Champions Leagues, of course, UEFA Cup, treble in 2001. But for some reason, and I understand it, the Holy Grail is the Premier League, and for it to finally happen, that's it now. And I'm sure United will come out and say 13-1, 2019. Other ones will point to this and say there's an asterisk against it. There's no asterisk against this. I think, as Jurgen Klopp said, the only asterisk against this is Liverpool have won the Premier League in the hardest year it is to win it, because we've done it in the middle of a pandemic. There'll always be an asterisk next to it in my mind, because it was the Premier League that was won, and hope to God this isn't the last one we see Liverpool win. But this will be the first, and B, the one which was took place in living rooms and gardens up and down the country, across the world. Anyone who tries to discredit what Liverpool have done now, they were wrong in the first place, because the Premier League isn't necessarily the be all and end all. Liverpool have been a fantastic team for the past 30 years anyway, but be more successful than a lot of other clubs. But now this really does validate it. Liverpool have there's no land left to conquer, really, as we've sort of been saying on this pod. The next thing is to sustain it and to make this the norm. I suppose the next time all we've got to do is get Stevie Gerrard back for 10 appearances and make sure he gets his medal. I don't know if it's knocking round. If we've got one spare, we might as well just give it to him anyway. He was on the coaching staff a couple of years ago. Why not?
It's 5 appearances now they have to make in the Premier League as well. So he's probably still capable of turning out at least 5 performances. Matt Spencer joining us on YouTube, lads, really sort of sums it up for me tonight with Liverpool fans. He says, I was 9 last time we won the league. And apart from my son being born, this is the happiest day of my life. I'm 40 this coming August. And that really sort of seems to hit the chord of just what it means and how long a wait that Liverpool fans have had for this league title. Before we go, though, just quickly want to just go around everyone for your individual, if you can pick one, your highlight of the season during Liverpool winning this league title. Because as we know, it's been confirmed tonight. It's not been won tonight because Liverpool have won it through the course of the season. Matt, start with you, just on the moment, the game, when things in your mind just went, yeah, this is what champions are made of. This will be a champion side we're seeing.
I mean, it's an impossible task, isn't it? Because as we've said, Liverpool have had so many moments. I mentioned the Man City game before was the one where you really stood up and thought, wow. But I suppose the most complete performance was the Leicester City one, because they were very high up in the table, as they still are. I rate them very high. I think Brendan Rodgers is a fantastic manager. Obviously has Liverpool links as well, and for Liverpool to turn up and put in pretty much as close to a perfect footballing performance as what you'll ever see. I think if I had to say one, I think it would be that. But as I say, I mean, you could literally pick a moment from maybe 10, 15 matches this season, because Liverpool have just been that good.
Theo, for you?
For me, it's the Manchester United game. You can hear my voice going now, can't you?
Was that when Willie had scored, was it? Is that what's
because we've seen in the past, the fans have sung, we're going to win the league, and it's been a jinx. It's not happened. They held off not singing it for so long this season when they sort of knew that it was going to happen. But Manchester United, it was the one. That's when the song was sung at full time. We'd already seen the fantastic celebrations when Mohamed Salah scored that second goal. And then it was just a session, just waiting for this moment. Granted, it's taken 3 months longer than we thought it would take, but it's finally here. And just to think back, because I was there in the press box that day, it's all that hard work. This is what that Liverpool team's about. And it's just a shame that the fans can't be at the game to enjoy it. But as we're seeing there at Anfield, they're all over the city, they're all over the world, taking it all in and enjoying the moment. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's now lost his voice.
No, certainly there'll be plenty more of those losing their voices tonight. Kristian Walsh will probably be one of them. Kristian, your moment of the season.
Sadio Mane against Aston Villa. Liverpool were absolutely terrible in that game. And I think it was the week before Man City, and they were 6 points ahead. And at one point, really looked like it was going to be going into that with a 3-point gap, and Man City win that, and all bets are off. It's back to level peggings. What Liverpool did in those last sort of 5 minutes of normal time plus stoppage time was incredible, and the sort of thing that I sort of watched growing up Manchester United do. The reason I disliked them so much growing up, because that is what they did, and that is why they were always champions, and why they were the scourge of my childhood. And to see Liverpool do that, I was at Villa Park that day, and when Mane just scores, it was just absolute bedlam everywhere. And it was that moment where, when you sort of, everyone calms down, you take a moment to breathe, and you go, that's what proper football teams do. They were awful, but they dug in there and scored the last minute winner. So I think that, and then they go into the City game, they beat them, and I think it goes to 9 points, and from there they've never ever looked back.
No, certainly haven't. Well, before we leave you, just a couple of places to just point you in the direction of the Liverpool Echo, of course, straight up for all the reaction tonight. Find it over there. In Friday's Liverpool Echo newspaper, there will be a Football Echo, a special 16-page supplement with all the best opinion, analysis and reaction from our writers in a bumper souvenir special. Celebrate the night that Liverpool became champions of England for the first time since 1990. So do make sure that you get a copy of the Echo in the morning. And of course, tonight we're not done here on the Blood Red channel. We'll have plenty more reaction coming for right on Blood Red. But from us, Guy Clarke, Matt Addison, Theo Squires and Kristian Walsh, thanks for your time and your company. Liverpool, European champions, world champions, and tonight, champions of England. Enjoy.